There we are. Back together again. And going to look at Laat My Lammers Wei, chapter 18. I hope otherwise you guys are well. I hope you guys are packed, because at some point you have to move. I wish I could pack some of this stuff and leave the other rubbish and just throw it in the rubbish bin. When I get to the other side, I'll just have less rubbish. If I look around me, there's a lot of stuff that one can throw away. But anyway, you'll have to start packing, eh? Otherwise you're going to be caught with your pants on your knees, so to speak. Well, chapter 18. It's going to focus on the wanderings in the desert. The Israelites wandering around the desert. Remember, they're on their way to Canaan. But you'll see towards the end of our reading, what is going to happen. It's not far, but I mean, for so many people to travel, will take a year or two to get there. But we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we will highlight some of the failures of the Israelites, the disobedience and stuff like that, and how God continued to guide them towards the land Canaan. Well, while Moses was on the mountain, Sinai, to, confer with God, he was there for quite a while. He needed to receive the tablets with the law engraved on them from God. But during that time, the Israelites grew very impatient. They believed that God had abandoned them because Moses has gone, they don't hear anything from God. And then they bugged Aaron to make them a god that they could idolize. Eventually, Aaron had to do it. So he requested everybody to bring their gold earrings and stuff like that. Armbands and whatever they had, it was gold. And he melted it and he fashioned it into a golden calf. And stick it on a pole and say, there's your God. Pray to it. This act of adultery shattered the covenant that the people had just made with God. Remember, we spoke about it in the last reading. Well, when the Lord saw this, he told Moses and threatened to destroy them, to wipe them off the face of the earth. But Moses interceded because he loved his people. When Moses then eventually descended from the mountain with the two tablets with the law engraved on it, he saw the golden calf and the people dancing, and he grew so angry that he threw these stone tablets on the rocks so that it was smashed into pieces. He destroyed the calf by burning it, grinding it into powder, and then what did he do? He mixed it with the water that the Israelites needed to drink, and he made them drink the water with this fine grinded gold in it. Sure, he got them back on that one, eh? Then he called for those loyal to God, and the Levites responded. They punished the adulterers by killing them. They killed over 3,000 men. And this led to the Levites being chosen as dedicated servants of the Lord in the tent of gathering and other work that God wanted them to do. Then Moses again went up the mountain to meet God there, and he forgave the Israelites. And then with Moses, he renewed the covenant, providing 2 new tablets that he had to present to the people, to Israelites. Moses prepared the people for travel. After receiving the tablets again, he said, this is now time, we have to leave. They were guided by God again with a pillar of cloud. the cloud was in the direction that they had to move. So when the cloud started moving, the people knew it was time to pack up and follow the cloud. And then the same, when they get to a point where they had to stop, the cloud would stop, and the people knew this is where we have to put our stuff up, down, and tents up, and whatever they needed to do. But, as with the Israelites, we know by now, they complained again. God was fed up with this, and He sent fire as punishment. But poor Moses loved the people, and he interceded again and prayed to God, and then God stopped the fire. And the place, because of the fire, was called Taberah. Taberah, meaning place of fire. Well, as they moved on, they complained again that they missed the diverse food that they had in Egypt, all these different kinds of food, and they wanted meat. So God provided a huge amount of quail. However, while they were eating, God punished them with a plague for their greed. And that place was called Kibroth Hattaavah, or Hattaawa. Well, later, Miriam and Aaron criticized Moses for marrying a Cushite woman. As a result, Miriam was afflicted with leprosy. But again, when Moses prayed to God, God healed her after 7 days. So criticizing God's person was not on the agenda. God did not allow that. And you see what the result was? A plague. Well, when the Israelites reached Kadesh, on the edge of Canaan, on the south side, Moses sent 12 spies into the country, each of them in different directions, to go and see what was going on in that country. They returned with evidence of the land's fertility, including they brought with them impressive fruit that they picked in that country. However, 10 of the spies spread fear amongst the Israelites, reporting that the inhabitants were giants, huge people, and that the cities were so fortified that you would never be able to get in there when you go to war with him. Well, they convinced the community that they should not invade the land Canaan. But Joshua and Caleb gave a faithful report, trusting that God would grant them victory, even if these people were big or whatever the stories they spread around. The people rebelled, leading to God's judgment. They would wander in the desert. Now, this is important to know. Remember, I said to you, it didn't take them very long to get from Egypt around the Sinai sides, along the sea, and up to the land Canaan. Then they get to the south side. But when they got there, they rebelled after they heard these rumors. And what did God do? He judged them. He said to them, "You will wander in the desert for the next 40 years. That's how long it took the spies. It took them 40 days to do their spy work before they came back. And for that number of days that they were in there, they will be wandering in the desert for years, 40 years in other words. So 1 year for each day that the spies were in that country. During this time, 40 years, it's like 1 or 2 years that they were out from Egypt. And they were there on the verge of Canaan. And then God punished them. During this 40 years, the entire adult generation, except for Joshua and Caleb and Moses, would die in the desert. When the people attempted to enter Canaan on their own, they were defeated and they were forced back into the desert. So God did not go with them, because God said, 40 years you will wander in the desert before I will allow you into the country. So these events serve as a turning point, showing that disobedience and the lack of faith led the chosen people to miss the immediate fulfillment of God's promise. God said, you can go into the land Canaan, until they were disobedient. And then God punished them, forcing a prolonged period of preparation, wandering around in the desert before they could enter. They were there. They were on the verge of entering the land Canaan with God's blessing, to go and clean up before them. Even the cities that were fortified, God would have given to them. But now instead, 40 years in the desert. So, I feel sorry for the Israelites, but that's the way it went. God told them, and they did not obey, and He punished them. So this is the story of Egypt, the Israelites in the Sinai desert, where they went through all these different things that happened to them on their way, and eventually back in the desert for 40 years. Tough. Remember, Opa and Oma love you too, and I will hopefully, God willing, be with you again tomorrow. All right. Sleep tight. Remember, we love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.